Alrighty then. Man, last night I went round in circles, and early this morning, doesn't matter, early, on this assault here. Coming from this hex at night in the deep dark. Moving up to here, we take that final protective overwatch fire, and then we try and enter the hex here of a unit that is not suppressed. And I'm wondering, and so they may have been suppressed earlier on with the initial prep fire phase, but we couldn't get to this location soon enough to take advantage of that to attack before they remove their suppression. So I tried this attack a couple of different ways. First of all, I went, I was just about to say something rude. I took all of the equipment available, all the men, and these two units, these two platoons, and we attacked as a stack. And went through that exercise. They actually lost a step coming in, and then were not suppressed and managed to close. And then everyone decided that 25 was the number that we're going to roll for combat. And so nothing happened for the first round. I don't even know if there was a morale check on the first round. I have to try and reread these scratchy notes. But then on the second round, we had another step lost for the double stack. Because when you've got 10 steps coming in, that's going to give the defending or the fire a +3 modifier. Now, of course, as we lose steps, we go down to 8 to 9. That's a +1 modifier. But nevertheless, in they came. They ended up. Someone rolled a nasty roll. Yeah, round 3. Here we go. Round 3, the Germans rolled 26, so no effect. And then the Scots, the wee Scots, rolled a 66, laddies. And that is just freaking game over. That's 3 step losses. SYR, save yourself retreat, or save your ass retreat, as I like to call it. And 3 steps, so that's 5 steps lost out of 10. So each of the platoons down to half. Clearly not a good strategy, right? Not good, not healthy for the team. No long-term fighting capacity left in those guys. So then I said, okay, well, what would happen if we came in individually? So I sent the first platoon in. It survived its approach overwatch. Had no effect. They had to do a morale check, I believe, and then they came in. Then when they came in, once again, both sides rolled poorly, but the Scots managed to put a 1-step loss on. And then they rolled again for the next round, and there was another high number, and I don't have the details here, but they could either take a step loss or SYR. And they elected to SYR, and they retreated. Now, in all this, I've not put any. I put a suppression on these guys, and that's right, and a suppression on these guys. So then this next chap comes up, and he has a go at it. He survives this overwatch, enters the hex. They both suppress each other, and then they begin going in through their rounds, and it ended up being a bit of a debacle with the 61 being rolled by the Scots and a 40-something by the Germans. These guys didn't even take a step loss. They just had another morale check, which they passed. This morale of 2 at night in dug-in position is pretty powerful. Now, the point of me going through these different iterations is just to sort of explore the tactics and see what the opportunities are. Normally, in daylight, I wouldn't do this attack. Normally, I would suppress these guys with artillery or direct fire first, and then I would close an assault because I would get to fire first and not take that final protective fire as they're coming in, unless there was some other unit that was adjacent that could do it. But that would be how you would do it. But in this circumstance, I was thinking, at night it's got to be easier, and it's really not. Particularly given these guys are dug in with the -5 on the terrain modifier. That is just that's a beatdown for the Germans to overcome and try and get hits on these guys. Even though they've got some other modifiers, it ends up subtracting a column, a net 1 column for the Germans when they fire. So with a strength of, what was it going to be, 5, and then in the hex 5, so that'd be a strength of 10. It drops them down from the 9 to 10 column to 7 to 8 column. And then I've got, so that means to get a loss on these guys, did I say 7, 8? Yeah, 7, 8. To get a loss, I've got to roll 52 or higher. So pretty hard to do. Otherwise, I'm just getting a morale check. These guys got, as I said, have a nice low morale of 2. So interesting problem to solve, which leads me to the conclusion or the thought that I don't believe all of these guys are necessarily supposed to be dug in. I've posted some more questions online. If anyone knows scenario 5.5, what the initial defense is, I would love to know. I believe it's hasty defense, but there's some confusion over that. There are other scenarios that define what the initial status and defensive posture is for the units. And this one does not define it. Of course, I picked that one. So maybe I just need to find a different scenario to play that has all the details, and that way we don't have to guess. But I'm feeling like this might be a little bit too much. But that makes perfect sense that the Scots would be dug in, even though the weather and all the rest of it is problematic, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, quick update. There we go. It's we're deep in turn 1 a.m. turn, and it's mist weather. Not that affects anything. It's just a visibility issue, and it's still dark, so no problem there. Visible range is 2. All right, catch you guys soon. Roll dice.